free. Battle in the storm with courage and grace. Shayna's got the wisdom to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. Shayna shows to bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. You're gonna prep. Ladies and shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with the
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you guys sick of hearing bad news? You're flipping the channels. You're hearing, oh God, tragedies, murders, losses. It's time for good news today. Today we're going to talk all about good news and quick, healthy, few ingredient, few step recipes that you can make for the summer. Let's get started. It's time. Before we do, we just opened the doors for our next Reclaim Your Life live power hour. So, yay! Literally just opened the doors. So if you haven't registered, please go right now to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. You can either grab your phone and scan that QR code, or if you're on your phone right now, you can go over to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Reserve your no cost or level up to the VIP experience and mark your calendars. That will be Thursday, August 7th, 7 p.m. EST. Only those registered, not even the ones in the group, will have access to this. Oh, moving right along, in case you guys don't know who I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, the autoimmune expert. I empower mostly ladies to get and feel better even when their doctors and meds didn't, wouldn't, or couldn't. I offer in person and online classes, courses, workshops, speaking engagements that are informational, transformational, book signings, and private one on one consultations. All right, moving right along, that's enough about me. I want to share some good news. Thank you guys who have subscribed to our YouTube channel. We could not be where we are today without you. If you haven't subscribed, wherever you're tuning in from, go to youtube.com/ at Shayna Melissa. Click that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. That will give you notifications and reminders when we go live and have new clips. The last 30 days, I looked on YouTube the other day and we had over 17,000 views in the last 30 and 136 views in the lifetime of our channel. Then I went back to look at the update and we hit 17.5K views and 143 or some odd views in our lifetime. So click that subscribe button and get notifications. All right, moving right along. Google. Thank you guys who left us Google reviews. I have a perfect 5-star rating thanks to you. If you haven't already, please leave me a rating in stars and a comment. This photo alone hit 50,000 views. Thank you guys for that. All right, I love sharing good news, not bad. For those of you that are tuning in right now, drop us where you're tuning in from. We see eyeballs. Drop us hashtag live or replay where you're tuning in from. Whatever social media you're on right now, click that follow to get notifications button. Now, we went over YouTube. Subscribing is free, gives you updates. We're have a substantial viewing on Google as well, and Facebook. This is the main Facebook page that's not a private group. So if you're not already on it, it's just Shayna Melissa S. So it's facebook.com/ Shayna Melissa S. In the top right, those 3 little dots, you can click the subscribe button. Thank you to all my Facebook friends out there. Now I want to get into some good news. All right, in the media, there's always bad news, right? Tragedies, accidents, deaths. And it's time. We need good news, right? How would you like to hear about, I don't know, congratulations, babies, birth, and really good news. So that's what I want to share with you. So we're going to call the first half of this the Good News Shayna episode. All right, so just a couple days ago, now just to let you know, all of these clips I'm going to show you about the good news updates happened since the last episode last Wednesday. So they are fresh, hot off the press. So I was out in town at like a farmer's market getting some fresh fruits and vegetables, supporting the local farms. And I was talking to this nice police officer, and he said to me, "Hey, you look familiar." And I'm like, oh, I think I look familiar for the wrong reasons. So I teased him back and I was like, yeah, I was just released. I have a new release. Well, this magazine right here on the left was just released all over Long Island, especially Holbrook, Farmingville, Patchogue, Medford area. And I believe he had seen me in that. So when the officer said, you look familiar, this is why. If you're on Long Island, I'm in a couple of pages in that magazine on the left. It just printed about a week ago. And also the Kudos magazine, absolutely love that magazine. It's all about healthy, happy living, quick, easy, yet delicious and nutritious recipes. I was on the cover a few months ago. I give all of my clients a copy of that every month. I've been collaborating with that beautiful magazine for over a year now. I totally fact check it. It's all accurate. I highly recommend it. If you're one of my clients, you'll be getting it. If not, you can go to worldwellnessexpert.com / kudos and get a complimentary copy of that magazine. So other good news this week, I bumped into this lovely lady here and she said, quote, She discovered what she was telling this local politician. She discovered what my doctors didn't after all these years since I was a child. Thank you, Kasha. I'm sharing with permission. She has a beautiful organic makeup line she'd like me to be the spokesperson for. So I want to let you know that bumping into people in the community, I absolutely love hearing their stories and how great they're doing. She was having weird allergies and rashes since a child. You know how devastating that is to a child, to their confidence and their self esteem. And after all these doctors and all these years, I was the one that put the pieces of the puzzle together for her. So she said, "You saved my life." Thank you, Kasha, for appreciating me. Moving right along, we had a workshop just a few days ago. And this is Samantha, and I only share with permission because some of my clients are confidential and they remain anonymous. But Samantha gave me full permission on my workshop Thursday, actually. She said this quote to me, and this is a picture of her at a recent farmer's market where I was supporting her and buying her local crafts to give to my friends. She has a Sam I Am Positivity Crafts with keychains and necklaces and pens and really cool positive crafts. So she said, Shayna is amazing, knows more than all of my doctors. For years and years, they sent me for testing. She brought light to a lot of my issues that my doctors had no idea what was going on. And I hear stories like this over and over and over. You're going to the doctors, you're getting all the tests, you're getting all the treatments, you're not feeling better, you're wondering why, and the doctor is telling you you're getting older, your tests are normal. It's not the case. Listen to your body, reach out to myself for a private consultation, because she was going to all the doctors, all the specialists, listening to everything they had to say, doing all the treatments, and it was not helping her until I evaluated this situation. And unfortunately, a lot of the doctors, not all of them, want to give you treatments that help their wallet and their income, knowing it may or may not help you. And that was the case here, I believe, you know. So the point is, like, if you're getting, and I'm sharing with permission, if you're tired and the doctor's giving you B12 shots, first of all, I don't like those synthetic B12 shots, but if you're getting them for 9 months and not feeling any better, you're not absorbing them. You might have a problem with methylation, an MTHFR problem. So in her situation, we said, listen, this is an expensive test. You're obviously not absorbing them. Let's stop them. They're not working for you. They're making you feel worse. And let's give you an oral form of methylated B vitamins. So that's exactly what we did. All right, moving right along. So during this workshop, we had a cool randomizer. I put all the attendees' names that were there live on the workshop. They had to register and be live on the workshop in a randomizer, and I spun it around, and we had some winners. We raffled off cool things like gift certificates, $150, $100, Macy's, Red Lobster, some other really cool prizes. And Melissa was one of our lucky winners. I went to high school with her, so that was pretty cool to see her on my workshop. And you had to be there to win it. This is what the randomizer looked like. I blurred out their names for confidentiality, and we spun it a bunch of times. And if you were registered and on it during the spinning, you got to win. So the next workshop, we're going to use the randomizer too, a little bit at the middle and more prizes at the end. So definitely register for that. Moving right along. Also this past week, I saw the creamiest, yummiest ice cream lady there. Her ice cream is the creamiest, yummiest. If you guys are on Long Island, you know who this is. Absolutely love you, Elaine. Shout out to you. Cancer warrior for the past few years. I've been helping her and her husband. Absolutely love her ice cream. All right, moving right along here. So I had another potential client reach out to me, and this person knows all the holistic, naturopathic, functional medicine doctors across the whole US. Actually, not all, but most of them that are practicing functional root cause medicine. And he said to me, I'd like to pay you X number of $1,000 to be my doctor and help me one-on-one with my beep, beep, beep. I don't want to say the autoimmune problems, give away who it is, but for 3 months. And that is such an honor when the nurses bring me their children and when people know a lot of the regenerative longevity doctors and are reaching out to me for my services. Thank you, thank you, thank you, very much appreciated. Then I had someone say to me, I want you on the cover of my next magazine. So you guys stay tuned. I have a couple more covers coming up. I think you're really going to love the next one. And then I had another client. And I share not to brag or boast, but just to enlighten you on what I can do and loved ones. I had another one just lost 9 pounds and said, thank you. She is doing my 6 week summer slim down program and taking the only oral GLP-1, no needles, that I recommend. And in fact, she signed up for another 6 week of the summer slim down. So she just lost 9 pounds. I hope sharing these success stories inspires and motivates you and maybe helps you trigger, like, oh yeah, I know someone that wants to lose weight and they don't want the shots, or oh, I know someone that has an autoimmune, because I can help so many people if my message gets out to them. And you might be able to bridge that gap between those who need my services and myself. So on this next slide here, so we had somebody that just lost 9 pounds to get rid of their belly. And then this next slide shows you a very pregnant patient of mine. So I helped her. She had difficulty conceiving and maintaining a pregnancy. And the only thing she did different was what I recommended. And now she's like, hey, I am soon expecting. So yes, I help the ladies get more fertile and help keep the babies in the womb longer when they need to. There's ways we can activate certain genes and genetic highways and use natural ingredients to give the moms better edges of controlling their hormones to help increase fertility and keep that baby for till term. Then we have coming soon. Coming soon. So actually tomorrow I will be on another show as the guest, and it's going to air in, I believe, September. So stay tuned. I'm also guest on people shows and podcasts. All right, that's enough of that. That's going to be recorded, air in the future. Next, we have, check this out. Just a couple days ago, I love my fellow nurse practitioners. We got to go to Met Stadium. So my fellow nurses and nurse practitioners on Long Island and New York, and even from the city, and even one came from Staten Island to go to the Mets game with other fellow nurse practitioners. Thank you, Kristen, for helping coordinate all of this while we were there. It was so awesome to get on Citi Field. This, like I said, all of these photos were just taken within the past 6 days or so. It was a beautiful time to connect with fellow nurses, nurse practitioners, because a lot of times we just see each other at work. We don't have time to talk. How are you? How are your kids? It did rain, but to get on Citi Field was cool. But what was even cooler was before we show the next slide, I mentored a lot of nurses and nurse practitioners, and I have no idea how many I have inspired to become nurses and nurse practitioners, nor mentored. And there was one fellow nurse practitioner there that I asked her what she was up to lately, and she had said she won NP of the year. And she said, I didn't know this. I had mentored her years ago when she was first learning to become a nurse practitioner. She had said, thanks for you for inspiring me to become an RN. Kristen Probert. I had no idea she had won NP of the year. The year I was Healthcare Pro of the Year. This year she is NP of the Year. High five. Congratulations to you. So woohoo! We need to give recognition to our hardworking fellow nurses and nurse practitioners. And I had no idea I was the one that inspired her to become a nurse until we were at the Mets game. And this picture was at the Mets game just a few days ago, where, like I said, I asked her what's new. She said she won NP of the year, and she thanked me for inspiring her to become an RN. And I want to share a little bit about Kristen with you. And you know what? I shed some tears of joy. I really did. And the tears I shed of joy were even better because I'll tell you why. With autoimmune disorders, a lot of times we can't shed tears physically. Our tear ducts are dried out, we can't shed. So that's how I know my autoimmune issues are getting better. I was able to cry tears of joy. So congratulations again, Kristen Probat, NP of the year 2025. Now, just a little bit about Kristen. I inspired her to become an RN. She went on to become an NP. I believe I mentored her a little bit at one point. She also graduated from SUNY Stony Brook like I did, but in 2010, like a decade or so later, more than a decade later. She became nationally board certified in 2011. Now that means you have to take a strict test showing that you're up to national standards. She's also a member, like I am, of the NPA Long Island, New York State, and the AANP. I was blessed, privileged to speak last year at their AANP annual all about autoimmune disorders. Kristen is also on the VTE team, that's venous thromboembolism team. And she helps throughout, I believe, the hospital where she is at Stony Brook, see people that got clots in their veins and what caused it so she can prevent them from happening again in other patients. She is also on the Vascular Quality Initiative team. She's in the Society for Vascular Nursing, a Sigma Theta Tau. I hope I got that right. She's published research in numerous journals. She's award-winning posters that she has created numerous different times. She's a speaker locally and in bigger, larger groups, I believe nationally, a leader, and now a mentor herself. So congratulations once again, Kristen, for winning NP of the year. I always believed in you. You truly stand out. You are now, as I mentored you, mentoring others. You have become a true leader of preventative measures and leading the next generation. I believe you too are precepting students like I had. That is awesome. And, I want to give a shout out to Nurse Amy. Nurse Amy was the one that inspired me to become a nurse in the 80s. So, and I looked at Nurse Amy. I was thinking about nursing, but she gave me that extra inspiration that I needed. She went above and beyond to help people. I knew she was going to impact lives. I said, wait, I like helping people. I have a scholarship for this. Maybe this is my calling. She'll never know how many lives she impacted and how many of those lives impacted more lives. I want to create that massive, not rippling, but tidal wave effect. And it was so cool to hear decades later that I inspired Kristen to become the RN, to see all of the lives she has impacted. I imagine how many people she's also inspired to become a nurse or a nurse practitioner. So kudos to you again. Congratulations. High five. Woohoo. I also wanted to share with you that I was just asked to fly in to do a show. I don't want to tell too much. I might graciously decline this, but here's a hint for you, okay? Let's move right along to the next screen. We're running, time's going quick on us. Okay, so I wanted to share some signs and symptoms and talk to you a little bit quickly about autoimmune and Hashimoto's. You have warning signs in our car, right? They are not to be ignored. If you have that little warning sign in your car, right, you address it right away. It prevents it from turning into a big problem and spending tons of money. If you don't address that little warning sign in your car, right, we know that little oil light turns into you needing an engine, spending thousands of dollars and lots of hours. So we have warning signs in our car and they are not to be ignored. Let's go through some of those warning signs. These warning signs are often autoimmune and often Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune version of an underactive thyroid. So these are often symptoms of multiple autoimmune disorders, and it could be symptoms of Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. Now, you may have some of these symptoms and not all. If you have these signs and you are off by your doctors and they have no good explanation and just tell you you're getting older, you're working too much, your tests are fine, please reach out to me because they often don't order enough tests that are extensive enough. So some of the symptoms of Hashimoto's, you might have hair thinning. Let's start at the top. You might have dryness in the eyes that you think are itchy eyes, allergies needing re-wetting drops. You might have dryness in the intestine causing constipation, dryness in the skin causing rashes that might look like eczema, psoriasis, or diagnosed as a dermatitis. You might feel your throat's a little swollen, like maybe your thyroid gland is enlarged. You might be, are you waking up tired, right? Even though you slept 10 hours, reaching for a nap, another cup of coffee, another energy drink. You have pain out of proportion for the activities that you're doing. Maybe your hair is thinning, your nails are brittle, you have symptoms of IBS. Also with autoimmune, especially Hashimoto's, you might have palpitations, anxiety, or even insomnia, and the doctor might want to give you a tranquilizer or an antidepressant, and you know there's something else going on. And now you're only starting to become sad because of the symptoms, but you weren't initially. You might get chest pains, palpitations, inability to lose weight. You are not eating any differently. You're eating pretty good, same amount of activity, but yet you're gaining weight. You're eating better, you're exercising, you still can't lose weight and might be gaining weight. Or you could be cold more often, right? You're putting 2 extra blankets on at night versus your partner, or you're grabbing for a jacket and other people wearing shorts and tank top. These are often signs of Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. Let's go to that next slide. That top test right there is usually the one that your doctors order. However, that usually misses most autoimmune issues and most Hashimoto's hypothyroid problems. I order and have the capabilities of ordering all these other tests. So please, if you are in any state in the US, I can order these tests for you and more. 99% of the time, your doctor is just going to order that top one, tell you your thyroid's normal, and it very well still could be Hashimoto's underactive thyroid or subclinical thyroidism, or what we call autoimmune hypothyroidism. Okay, moving right along. So you can reach out to me to order those tests for you. I have some quick recipes going on here. We have spaghetti squash. I want to make things quick and easy for you, right? Spaghetti is processed and a lot of carbs. You can make spaghetti squash. All you do is cut it either lengthwise or widthways, depending on how short you want the strands. Remove the seeds, sprinkle it with EOO, extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper. I like putting it in a glass pan, not a tin, face side down, maybe a tinge of water, poke some holes in the bottom of the squash, bake it at 400, anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how you slice it, dice it, or how small or big it is. The longer you cook it will affect how soft or mushy it is. Also, instead, if you don't want to wait that long in the oven, you can just microwave it flat side down until it's tender. All right, now we have this cottage cheese flatbread. This is one of the hottest things out there. You're spending, I don't know, $7 a loaf of bread now. It's all stripped of its nutrients, has gluten. 2-ingredient cottage cheese flatbread with 4 simple steps. All you do is take 1 cup of fat-free cottage cheese, 2 eggs, put it in a little blender, blend it, spread it on parchment paper, not bleached parchment paper, on a baking sheet. Then you're going to sprinkle it with your favorite seasonings. The quickest, easiest is just everything bagel seasoning, right? Or salt, pepper, whatever you'd like. Bake it 350, 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how thin it is. Let it cool, and you can use this instead of wraps, instead of bread, instead of tortillas. So simple 2 ingredients, fat-free cottage cheese, 2 eggs, blend, spread it, sprinkle seasoning, and bake 350. All right, and any of these recipes you want, just drop down below recipe, and we will send them to you. Now, you know what? There's a grill, right? And a lot of us might have a older child that can grill for us, adults, or a partner that can grill, so we don't have to heat up the kitchen. So this is beautiful skewers, chicken, white meat, vegetables, and all we did was whisk some olive oil, some turmeric, some lemon juice, salt, pepper, cloves of garlic together as a seasoning. If you have autoimmune disorder called lupus, lay off the garlic. It might exacerbate a flare. Then you just cut up the chicken, the zucchinis, the red onion, thread them on the skewer and grill. How quick is that? Whisk, cut, marinade, skewer. That's it. Sorry, I'm going through quick. Just drop down below recipe and we'll get them for you. You only have to marinate them really a half hour, but the longer you marinate, the better. All right, next we got some strawberry yogurt here. All you need to do is take some fresh strawberries, some Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, mix it up together. If you want, you can throw in a little bit of honey or manuka. That's some carbs, but it's still good for you. A little bit of lemon juice, blend it, and you can freeze it or just have it as a fresh yogurt or have it as a shake or a smoothie, however you want to do it. So it's quick, simple, easy strawberries, yogurt, blend it down, add a little lemon, honey, blend and freeze. All right, we got one more here. I think this might be the last one. Rainbow pops. Right now, this one's a little more technical because there's different layers of the fruit. They're saying the first layer, take a half a cup of fresh raspberries with a teaspoon of water, blend it, pour it in the bottoms of all the modes. Put it in the freezer. Half hour later, it's frozen. Do the next layer. Another half a cup, but this time of different berries, maybe blueberries with a teaspoon of water. Blend it down, pour a layer of the blueberries in each of the containers, put it back in the freezer. When that's frozen in another half hour, do a layer of peeled bananas chopped up with a Greek yogurt mixture. Put a layer of that, let it freeze, then do the same thing with the mangoes, then do another layer with kiwi and a little bit of lime juice. And you will have nice layer pops for your kids that are healthy, nutritious, delicious. They're not no artificial colors, sweeteners, preservatives. I mean, that's what it's all about. Quick and easy, a few simple ingredients, a few simple steps. I mean, that one's a little more complex, but you don't have to do all the layers, right? You just do the raspberry and the yogurt and banana layer, or just one layer. Doesn't matter. All right, guys, drop us down. Whoop! All right, we're about coming out to the end here. I want to give you this on this, and you can take a picture of that if you'd like. It has our website on it as well, worldwellnessexpert.com. I want to share with you this. Would you rather A or B, right? You're demoing your kitchen. This is my real kitchen, by the way, and I did pay an expert to do it. Now, you're demoing your kitchen. Would you rather Google how to do this? Because we're all about Google nowadays, right? Google the plumbing, the electrical, the specs, the town ordinance codes, all that other stuff. And 5 years later, your kitchen's probably still going to look like A. Or would you rather hire the expert like I did, right? The expert has been through it. Yeah, look at my kitchen. The expert's been through it thousands of times, knows all the mistakes they already made in the prior ones, will not make those mistakes this time, knows how to do it better, did my kitchen better than the first they did thousands of kitchens ago. They expedited my journey by hiring the expert instead of Google. I expedited my journey and I saved myself years instead of my kitchen still looking like that in 5 years. So would you rather A, Google it and 5 years from now still have your health issues going on because you can't figure it out? Or B, hire the expert who has done this thousands of times with thousands of clients over decades and lots of years. So I want to be your expert for you, right? You have a roof that needs to be done. Do you Google it or do you hire the expert? Same with your body. Why are you Googling how to take care of your body? We only have one life. So reach out to me. I'm the expert. I can help expedite your journey to the end destination. And that's what our upcoming workshop is all about. Again, if you haven't registered, mark your calendar for Thursday, August 7th, 7 p.m. EST. It is a live power 1 hour on Zoom. Only those registered will have access to it. You can either scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Either reserve your free or VIP seat. VIP seats get a lot of cool perks. They get an extra 60 minutes live Q&A after to ask me a lot of their questions. They get a 20-page digital and printable workbook and possibly a mini private consultation with me. So that's what I want to leave you with is hire an expert. So a few years from now, you're still not suffering with the symptoms. Your kitchen doesn't look like that. We just open the doors for the Reclaim Your Life. We do close the doors once we reach a certain level of participants because we want it to be people to have individualized attention for the VIPs especially. And so we will limit the number of free and VIP seats. So just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Pick if you want free or VIP. Mark your calendar, then check your email box. It might end up in your promo folder. And I hope to see you on our live Reclaim Your Alive Power Hour so that the expert can expedite your journey to your end destination. I don't know where you guys want to be in a year from now, 5 years from now. Do you want to still be suffering with symptoms, waking up tired, excruciating pain, unable to do the things that bring you joy? Or you want to go run around with the kids, the grandkids, go to the beach, go visit Europe? Where do you want to be in a few years? And if you don't do anything differently, are you ever going to get there? Right? We must take action and do something different we've never done to get results we have never done. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope to see you at the worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, that you register there, and we see you on the live Reclaim Your Life Power Hour. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you click that subscribe button. Be well, biohack, and I'll see you on the workshop.
Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life.